Okay, we're here. Welcome everyone to Stock Markets with Bruce. I'm Uncle Bruce. I like this game. I hope you are having a good week this week. If you're joining me live most of the time or on rerun, there's a reason you're here because you're probably an option writer by now. You figured out that this channel and this host, we talk about writing options to make money. Why buy stock and go long and try to buy options and hope they work out? Why chase a hot stock market, even with zero commissions? Why play that game? Because you never know when to sell. You buy a stock for $120 a share and it goes to $123 a share, and you sit there and go, well, I'm only up $3 a share. What am I going to do with a $3 gain? I might as well just leave it alone. Hopefully the stock go to 126, and then it goes to 118. And you go, well, why didn't I sell it at 123? What a moron I am. I'm now down $5 from where I was. I'm down $2 on my investment. Well, I guess I'll have to wait. And then it goes to 113. And you're going, well, why did I get out at 118? What's wrong with you? And you're just hoping it goes back to 120. It goes back to 120 a few weeks later. And you're going, oh, okay, well, thank God I've broken even again. What should I do now? Do I get out? Well, maybe it'll go back up to 123. You don't win a damn thing. You're just sitting there holding a stock. You've got 15 of them, 100 of them, 400 of them, 7 of them, I don't know. 3.256812 of a percentage of them. I have no idea. You're getting nothing. You're not getting a dividend. You're not getting it. You're just a shareholder, and you're putting in $100 a week into the market, 200 a week, 1,000 a month, 2,000, whatever you can afford to buy into the market, and you're chasing hot dream positions, and you're not making any money. In the meantime, here on this channel, the viewers who are here all the time, they go, I don't have $1 million available to go in the market. Most of my viewers say that. I have some who are millionaires. Yes, I do have multi-million-dollar people here who write options. You never hear from them. They don't talk. They don't comment. They just make money. But I have a lot of viewers who don't even have $20,000 in the market. They got 5, 8, 10, 20,000 bucks, and they're sitting here going, Uncle Bruce, since I found you and your channel, you've kind of changed my entire game plan on how I invest in this stock market. I used to chase all these hot stocks all the time, and I never knew when to sell, even when I was winning. I mean, there were days I would buy a $4 stock and it would go to $6, and I was tearing my hair out in frustration going, what do I do now? Is this it? Because if I sell this, then I just have cash. What do I do then? Because the game plan was never to put $5,000 into a stock, turn it into 7,000, and pay your Visa bill off or pay off your MasterCard. The game plan was put $5,000 into the market and hope it'll go to $100,000, and then I'll live a different lifestyle. We're talking to the moon investing strategies, which hardly ever come true. In the meantime, people find me here with $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, and they go, these $200 classes that you have are rather revealing in information that I really should have known, or it hadn't occurred to me that there's another market out there called the option market. It hadn't really sunk into my skull until I spent money buying your classes. When I started spending money to buy your classes, I started listening to your classes like intently because I got skin in the game. And then you tell us to try to do some stock trading, option trading in practice accounts. That hadn't occurred to me either. I never thought of a practice account to do option trading in, to learn how to trade options in practice accounts. I can make all kinds of mistakes. Cost me nothing. On the other side, if I do winning strategies that turn into money makers, hey, I'm motivated to take more classes and open up a for real option account and really, yeah, of course. But Uncle Bruce, I am more than willing to get all 19 of your classes, $3,800. I'll watch a class a week for the next 19 weeks. 5 months of my life. That to me is a summer Stay-at-home college class on how to become an option writer. I'm in, but I'll tell you, Uncle Bruce, within the second, third week, I'm going to start writing options. And I can understand why you say all the time on this channel, hey, you say it every damn day, and your viewers do the same thing. They actually say it for you. You can write options while you're learning how to write options. So you can bring money in from option premiums already. That will help you fund all the other lessons that you're going to take to make you even a smarter option writer. And you earn while you learn. It's like an apprenticeship, isn't it? It's like an apprentice scenario. This is really interesting, afterwards. I'm interested. So I can't tell you how many times I get emails from viewers privately who say, you, sir, have changed my life. I cannot believe what you've done for me. My wife and I are blown away. My husband and I are blown away. My boyfriend, my girlfriend, my lover, my friend, my whatever, and my brain, just me, myself, and I am blown away by the change in my life because of your classes, because you've changed everything about how I look at the market now. I sell first, I buy later. I never thought I could do that. I always had to buy first and hope it goes up. Now I buy, and whether it goes up or down or doesn't change, I make money anyway. This is all new. Why do some investors have different rules than other investors, and why am I not with the group of investors that have other rules? What have I been thinking? I can't believe. Well, I now can believe, Uncle Bruce. I now can believe why I never knew your world existed with respect to becoming an option writer. I now know. I now know why the 1% of the market that writes options doesn't seem to convince the other 99% to get into it, because they're too busy making money, number one. They don't have time to just promote it. And they're having way too much fun. And they got bills to pay, because these are the very wealthy people who need wealthy returns. I guess that's true. I guess if you live in a box under a highway, you have low overhead. Literally, I mean, the highway's right there. But you don't. What you don't have is you don't have access to the internet. You don't have access to online brokerage trading, and you don't have access to being able to study the markets for the 6.5 hours a day they're open, or whatever the amount is, to timely trades in the market. Because when you're living under a box, under a highway, you're trying to not get mugged by someone else living beside you. You're trying not to get rounded up by the cops. You're trying to figure out where to eat. You're trying to figure out where to go pee-pee. And you're wondering, where can I get a shower? I mean, basics of life are getting in the way of making money. For those who make money for a living, you have other needs, wants, and desires and concerns. And that is making enough money for your overhead, making enough money for your family's lifestyle, making money towards a retirement so that you can, quit the day job if you haven't already. You're busy being successful. Welcome to this party. So, can I get homeless people off the street? I don't know if I can do that. Can I help you help someone that's homeless get off the street? Maybe that's my connection. Maybe some of you who have done so well are being very charitable, or know of someone that's a down and outer, and you're trying to help them. You want to help them. You can afford to help them, but under the right circumstances, to not feed the habit that's got them where they are, but to make a positive impact, to get them into a new phase of life. And maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, they might start becoming one contract at a time option writers. I don't know that. But I do know this. Folks who hang around here long enough, you make money. I believe you make money. I don't believe in the notion that you hang around here longer, you're eventually going to lose money. I believe in the notion that the longer you hang around here and the more lessons you're taking from the website I have and the one-on-ones you're doing with me, you're becoming a better, smarter, more profitable option writer. And there you have it. Welcome to this party. I hope it's working for you. I want it to work for you. I have a poll question today for all of you who are who aren't option writers. Have you been an option writer now for a year or 3 years or 4 years? It doesn't matter how long you've been. I would love to know if you would not mind going to my page here and taking a look at my poll question of the day. And basically, it's a pretty simple question. It says here, the first time I wrote any stock options, I collected a certain amount of money. And I'm giving you 4 choices. I collected under $500 the first time I wrote a stock option. I was terrified, Uncle Bruce. I was crapping my pants. I was so nervous when I wrote my first option. I had taken your classes, and I had been watching your show, and I was so excited, but I was nervous as hell. And I wrote one option. I had GameStop shares. I had 300 shares. I wrote one call option against 100 of my shares, and I brought in $350. And a week later, I bought it back for $250, and I made $100 profit. And I went, okay, I'm now an option writer. But in that week, boy, did I watch the market every second of the day, and did I watch my contract shrink. But the more I got into it, I began to figure out these guys are right. Viewers of this guy's channel are all doing this. And why can't I write 3 options on my 300 shares at $350 each and bring in $1,050, I guess, $1,050. And if they go down to like $1.50, I'll have cleared $600. There's $600 that GameStop shares aren't giving me by just holding the same stuff. I'm not getting paid to hold it. Here, I'm getting paid to hold my stock. I like this game. I want to get into this. And there have been many, many stories like that and others. Anyway, so 71% of you who have answered this question have said to me this morning, so far, out of 102 responders, I brought in less than $500 on my first option right. How many of you brought in $500 to $2,000 the first time you ever wrote an option? 22%. 1 in 5. Yep, Uncle Bruce, I wrote 3 contracts the first time I wrote anything. I wrote 3 contracts on the stock that I've had forever. I had Apple shares. I had Amazon shares. I've had these G7s, Magnificent 7 stocks. You inspired me to sell all of my nickel and dime stocks. And I turned around and I bought 200 Amazon shares, and I turned around and wrote 2 contracts that expire in 3 months, and I got $4 each, and I got in $800, and I'm a $500 to a $2,000 option writer. Others of you have said to me, Uncle Bruce, I've been sitting on 1,500 shares of GameStop ever since they split 4 for 1, and I wrote 15 calls to start the ball rolling, and I brought in $1.50 for $1, and I brought in $1,500, $500 to $2,000. Between $2,000 and $5,000, only 3% of you. There's only 3 of you who have ever done that. And over $5,000, the first time you brought in over $5,000 for your first option rate, there are 5% who've said so. That's 5, maybe 6 of you that brought in more than $5,000. And I know I have viewers here who said to me, when I found you, I did have a $300,000 account. I had a $200,000 account. I own 10 different stocks. And because of you, I started writing options on all of them. I had, in some cases, I had 81 shares of XYZ. I bought 19 more shares of that stock to get to 100. And I immediately wrote a call option, which almost paid for all 19 shares that I just bought to get me to 100. And I took that money, and that replaced the money to buy those shares. And when that contract shrunk out, I bought it back for nothing, and I wrote another contract. And I did that with all 10 of my positions, some of which I just sold. I only had 44 shares of this. I had 28 shares of that. I got rid of those, and then I started zeroing in on what shares do I want to buy to write options against in lots of 100 shares at a time. And this is where some of you joined me with SoFi, and you joined this channel picking up Rocket Lab, and you bought AI, you bought Unity, you bought ASTS lately, you bought whatever. and you started writing contracts, just covered calls. A number of you, however, you came to me and went, hey, Uncle Bruce, I have lost my butt already on options. I played options starting 5 years ago. And I got lucky a couple of times with some trades, but boy, I gave it all back as just like a casino. You win a couple of $100 out of a slot machine, and you go right over to this slot machine and you put it in there. I did that with call options. I did that with put options. Then you come into my life. I don't know how it happened, but you came into my life, and you're just sitting there going, "Why don't you be the goddamn casino instead of the stupid gambler?" And you're going, "I never thought of that." And how can you be a casino? And so the lessons came in pretty damn handy, and I'm still taking your lessons. And I started writing options. And the first time I wrote options, I brought in $8,000. And I thought, this is nuts. This is insanity. The money's in my account. I got the $8,000 sitting right there. My stock's still there. I got these shares. I got $8,000 now in cash because I've offered these shares for sale for a limited time offer. Hey, this is a whole new thing. You've completely turned me from one side of the market to the other. Man, this is pretty special. And then there are those of you who got caught up in the hype of the markets. In the last year, you've been bombarded with articles that have caught your eye. 0 day to expiry contracts dominating the world, taking over the option trading. The most popular options are 0 day to expiries. The volumes are surging every month to new record highs. $5 trillion in the option market, with a big chunk of it going to 0 day to expiry contracts. And you're wondering, what's all the fuss about? And you read more and more and more, and what do you find? More gamblers coming into the option market trying to get rich overnight, buying lottery tickets called 0 day to expiry contracts, hoping for a 1 day bet to take $5,000 and turn it into $50,000. And you're just going, oh no, this, I don't want any part of that. And then again, miraculously, through a fluke of nature, because my viewers give me a thumbs ups, I beg them every day, give me thumbs ups. And because viewers give me thumbs ups, YouTube exposes another 5,000 people of my channel to another 5,000 people, and then another 5,000, and another 5. Every day my channel gets promoted by YouTube because you give me thumbs ups and you interact with me. You answer my poll questions. And so the channel is growing its reach, and more people find me. Rookies, brand new newbies who are bombarded with articles about 0 day to expiry option contracts and are terrified of that, but they want to learn how to invest smartly, conservatively, in a way that'll change their economic future, hoping maybe in 5 years or 10 years, my account will grow to a point where I have something to talk about, because I'm only putting in $500 a month at work. It's all I can afford to put into this thing, $125 a week. My boss thankfully matches half of it, all of it, I don't know. But it's going to take 15 years to have any significant money in that account. I mean, if I'm putting in $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year. I do that for 10 years. I've put $60,000 into a retirement account. Do you know how much inflation is going to take that away? In 10 years, 10 years of inflation, that $60,000 is worth $20,000. So it's got to grow. It's got to grow more than what I'm putting in. My boss is matching it. Okay, there's $120,000 of capital in that account in 10 years. Well, I'm 38 now. I'm going to be 48. Is this company going to be here in 10 years? Am I still in this organization in 10 years? Am I being laid off by AI in 3 years? Really? You want me to plan for 10 years, 20 years retirement? I can't plan for 10 minutes. Then you find me. You found me. You came in here somehow. You caught me on a weekend, and you watched you listened to one of my little rants here, and you were just going to watch 5 or 10 minutes, and you watched 30 minutes of my rant, and you went, well, this guy kind of makes sense. Why did I become a casino with my money? Can I do that with my 401k? Can I use my 401 and be an option writer with this thing? Or can I get access to the capital that I have in my 401? I've got $50,000 sitting in there. It's just in these managed accounts that the firm put us into, and we're getting, some are doing better, some are not. My overall return is crap. It's not even inflation. Why don't I borrow against my 401k and manage that money as an option writer? Conservative option strategies like he's talking about. And now, 0 day to expiries. You're telling me, Uncle Bruce, that I can write options this morning that will expire this afternoon? And as they shrink in value, as they run out of time, since they're out of the money contracts, you're telling me I can sell a contract for like 60 cents and buy one for like 15 cents, get a 45-cent credit, and let that credit shrink down to like 15 cents, and then just buy those back at virtually nothing and keep the change, which is maybe 35 cents a contract. That's $35 a contract. I can do 10 a day. That's $350 a day. You're telling me I can make $350 a day on shrinkage, on daily option expiries every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when open, and Friday? You're telling me 20 days a month I can make $350 a day? That's $7,000 a month. And I'm not even using $20,000. I'm using like $10,000. I'm using not a lot of money here, but you're telling me I can bring in the kind of money that I'm making at my day job without having to have $1 million to do it? What? Whoa! I know relatives of mine. I've known grandma and grandpas and cousins and aunts and uncles who've had $1 million worth of IBM stock in their accounts, accumulated over 50 years, and they were getting like a 4% yield on their stock dividends, $40,000 a year on $1 million. I know relatives, I know friends that have got $100,000 at their local bank down the street with a 5-year guaranteed investment certificate, getting 4.5% a year. That's $4,500 a year. A year. They can't quit their day job. They get taxed on that $4,500 too. I mean, what's left? I remember when interest rates were higher and people were getting 6 and 7% returns on their investment certificates. So you got $1 million and you get 7% interest on your money. That's $70,000 a year on $1 million. I don't have $1 million. I don't have 100,000. If I had 100,000, I'd only get 7,000 a year. If I got 10,000, I only get 700 a year. What are you talking about on this channel with your viewers, where people are using 5, 10, 15, 20,000 bucks and writing 0 day to expiry contracts and bringing in 100 a day, 200 a day, 300 a day, 400 a day, consistently? Really, Uncle Bruce? But you do make sense in a way, because you do out and out say, I cannot help you take $10,000 and turn it into $100,000 today. I don't have that strategy here. So forget that strategy. But how about we work with 10 grand that you've got, put you into a 0 day to expiry contract regimen where you can pull out, God, can you just pull out 200 a day on this? 20 days a month, that's 4,000 a month. 4,000 a month on 10 grand, that's 40% a month. 4,000 a month is 48,000 a year. You're using 10,000 to get 48,000 a year. Can you imagine what your relatives are going to say to you when you tell them this? They're going to look at you like, you're dreaming, you're full of crap. What illegal program, what kind of a pyramid scheme are you into? You know who that is. You know exactly which relative of yours is going to give you the gears July the 4th. You know who it is. Do you even want to tell these people? My advice to you is open up a practice account. You don't have to try this with real money. Open up a practice account. Use $10,000 to try to do daily 0 expiry contracts, doing credit spreads and call spreads. I have lessons on this. Number 19 is being edited right now. Do that for a month or two and see if it works. See if you've got the tolerance for it. Are you willing to put in some time to allow this kind of investment to happen? I guess I could say it to you this way: if you're happy with your job and your environment at work and your coworkers and your supervisors and the owners of your company, you're in a small, medium-sized family business company, and it's just everything. It's your entire life. Your friends, there's relatives there. It's small town America, small town Canada, small town UK. It all works. Hey, you've got a great life. Sounds to me like you got a pretty good thing going. And if the company is a successful company, oh man. But I will bet you that you don't know very many other people in your position. Outside of your company, you don't know anyone else that's that happy. And I'm going to bet you that out of 100 people watching me here, 98 of you don't have that situation. 98 of you have a whole other work environment situation. And then there are those out there who don't know me, who may or may not ever know me, but they're out there who are dreading going to work because they're dreading the Monday to Friday grind that they're into, or the 7-day-a-week grind, or the 12-hour-a-day grind, or who knows what. I mean, there are horror jobs out there, horror jobs. And these folks, if they ever knew, could ever find out what you know and what you're doing here, they would be non-believers right away. They would just go, come on, can't do that. That's not real. It's not legal. It's got to be illegal. You got to be doing a shenanigan. You got to be pulling a fast one with the SEC. I mean, come on. There's got to be something that just blows this out of the water. Can you blame them? I mean, they've been screwed with their entire lives. They've been given the shaft with their employers forever. They've probably been fired multiple times or laid off whenever times get tough. They get let go. They've done nothing wrong. They've gone to work every day, worked their butts off, but they've never gotten ahead. And then they find out what you're doing on this channel. They can't believe it. But if you are able to hold their hand long enough and just say, just listen to me now, because I was like you. I couldn't believe this guy. I could not believe Uncle Bruce's followers. I could not believe the comments coming in from his regulars that this truly is doable with not a lot of money. That's the shocker of the shocker. You don't need 400 grand to try to make 20 grand a year. No. But hey, what does it take? A little bit of your time, a little bit of your effort, a little bit of study time, observation, practice account trading is a way to get into it. And then you've got to get crafty. And this is where the big roadblock comes up, because they always say, what's the catch? What's the catch? The catch is, are you willing to have your economic life completely altered from what it was, where you're at now, to this level over here? Because you can't just decide, well, I will just take my multiple various assets and reallocate them and become an option writer. It's not that simple, is it? Because how many of you guys are liquid and can quickly raise $15,000 and $20,000 and $30,000 in capital at a moment's notice and immediately jump in? There are those who do that, yes. And then there are those who go, I got to make some major changes in my life to get to that level. But Uncle Bruce, I have been putting this off for a long time about getting my act together. And maybe now the time is now to get my act together. And so this is the impetus for you to sell the third car, sell the motorbike you haven't driven in 4 years. The home gym equipment, you're not using it anymore. You're going to go to a gym class. You're going to join so-and-so's gym to work out. Maybe you go to so-and-so's workout center already. Get rid of those items and get $500 for that stuff. You're going to cobblestone together dough, money that you're going to use to work for you. You're looking for slaves. Dollars are slaves. You're looking for 20,000 slaves, 10,000 slaves, 50,000 slaves. And you're going to find them all over your house, in the garage, in the attic. You're going to figure it out. This is one of those painful things you're going to have to do, because you got to get off your big fat lard ass like we all have, and do something with this. And at the same time, you're going to drop $200 for class number 1. You're going to watch class number 2. You're watching this show. You're going to start practice trading. And you're going to then open up your own account. You're going to start funding it with a couple of $1,000 and another couple of $1,000. You might cobblestone together enough capital, 10, 15, 20 grand, in 3 months, 4 months, as you're learning the class, doing the classes, hanging out here, and funding your account. And you're realizing, I only need like 5 grand to start writing options without owning any stock. I don't have to own anything to write options. Like, what a revelation this is. Your first option trade could be as simple as, Uncle Bruce, all I'm doing is I'm going to write cash secured puts on GameStop. I've got a couple hundred shares of GameStop, or I've got 35 shares of GameStop. I'm going to write a $2,000 option, cash secured put option on GameStop, because you've shown me how to do that. I put 2 grand into my account. I've already got it there, and I've written a contract good for January of 2016 or 26, which is 6 months from now. And they gave me $250 or whatever the number is. I've written a $25 cash secured put good for a year from now, and I took in $400. I've never had $400 given to me by anybody before. I just got $400 in my account. I'm sitting on a $2,500 option. It cost me $2,500 to write it. They gave me $400 on top of that. I got $2,900 in my account to offer to buy GameStop at $25 a share until next June. And I can close that deal off anytime, stop this deal anytime I want. I don't have to wait until next June to do my next move. Okay, the next $2,500 I get, I want to do some 0 day to expiry option work. I want to start doing $5 credit spread call contracts. Well, you're going to need to get lesson number 9, 10, 11, 12. The college course will get you there. That's what it's about. There's 19 classes available shortly. It's 18 now, 19 coming. In the next 3-4 months, you will be down that road. And in the next 3-4 months, you will have cobblestone together $5, 10, 15, 20, 25, $30,000. Maybe you borrowed against your 401k 15 grand, and you're paying yourself a monthly payment to pay back the 15,000, principal plus interest to you, smart. And you've got that 15,000 plus another 10 grand you found. You got $25,000, and you've written 2 GameStop cash secured puts, and you've written 3 SoFi cash secured puts. You've utilized 10 grand over there, and now you have 15 grand over here that you're now going to put together for 0 day to expiry option rights. And you're sitting there going, if I can bring out $100 a day with this 10, 15 grand left over, if I can just get $100 a day, that's $2,000 a month coming in. My total portfolio is $20,000. 25. If I can get in a couple of thousand a month from this, and then I got my cash secured puts over here, I got different things working in different directions at different speeds, and I'm becoming more of an asset manager. You've got 20,000 slaves working for you. Dollars are working for you because you're directing them as to what to do. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the beginning of the rest of your life. A year from now, you're going to be writing options like it's in your sleep. You're going to be dreaming it. You're going to be dreaming options in your sleep. You're going to be writing options 3 years from now with $100,000, $200,000 account and more. And you're going to be doing credit spreads like it's buttering toast. And you will find that as further down the road you go with option writing, the further away you are from being able to explain it to anyone else. That's the other reality. There are people here who tell me that over time they kind of lose friends in a way because they're not able to hang out with them as often as they used to. They don't have the time to hang out and do nothing anymore. They're too busy making money. They're too busy enjoying making money. They have new friends. They have new friends, new money-making associates that they've bumped into, maybe through this channel, through the Discord group, and what have you. But they've changed they're changing their kind of pals in a way. and certainly managing their time in a different way. And they don't go to the office anymore. They don't go to the factory. They don't drive a vehicle. They don't work for anyone anymore. They're now self-employed. They're looking after their own lives, and they're building their economic base. I hope I'm describing some of you. Some of you are on the road to that already, have already reached that level. I don't know. But I thank you all for being here. 157 people now have answered this poll question today. 157. How many thumbs ups have we got? Thumbs ups now, 86. Thank you very much. We're opening in 23 minutes. Keep those thumbs ups coming. 208 of you are here, so there's at least 120 people that could give us a thumbs up right now. 120 of you at least could do that. Those are free to give away, people. Do me a favor, help me out there. Thank you. We've got 158 voters so far. The first time I wrote any stock options, I collected under $500, 73%. I collected between $500 and $2,000 the first time I ever wrote any stock options. 19% of you tell me that. So that's about 16 of you, almost 16. 2 to 5 grand, the next category, 4. And over $5,000, 4% said the first time I wrote options, Uncle Bruce, I brought in more than $5,000. That's like 6 of you, 7 of you. Nice. 161 responders, 162 responders. Hey, that meter is going. That meter is going. It's exciting to see. Thank you so much. Answer the poll question. Hit the thumbs up button. Help my channel get some engagement here. 97 thumbs ups. Thank you so much. I wish my thumbs up meter would update like this, but it doesn't. I don't know how to make it work. YouTube doesn't give me this information. I don't know how to do it. I have to reload my page every time just to see what my thumbs up number is. It is what it is. It be what it be. Thank you all for joining this YouTuber from wherever in the world you are. I thank you so very much for being part of us. We are, Jen and I are just thrilled that since 2020, when I started this channel, still on the air and talking to people here Monday to Friday when the markets are open. Wow, what a run this has been. Thank you all so very, very much. Okay, there you go. We are running along here, trying to make it happen. We opened in 21 minutes today. My headline today, the show title, every day I got to come up with a title for my show. The title is GameStop closes its $2.25 billion cash raise, now has over $8 billion in cash. Is $30 next? Is this stock going to $30 or what? I say yes. I think that is the next stop for this company. I think a company with no debt should basically, with $8 billion in cash, cannot have a higher stock price than it has now. I can't justify $23 a share for GameStop with that kind of potential. Now, the hardcore hater, some people who hate GameStop no matter what they do will say, well, they've only got $8.5 billion and there's 400 and whatever million shares outstanding. So, I mean, do the math, man. You divide 400 million something shares into $8 billion. It's not even a $20 company in cash. I agree with that. As a matter of fact, if you were to look at Apple's books, you would find they have a huge cash hoard. And you do the math with Apple, and they don't have their stock price either in cash. You look at Amazon or Microsoft or Google or any of these companies with massive cash balances, divide the number of shares into their cash balances, they don't equal their stock price. Why is that? Well, because they have an underlying business, right? I mean, Apple makes iPhones and they make MacBook Pros and, they market all kinds of software and they have a business. And so maybe Apple is worth $3 a share in cash, and the rest of the value of the stock is the potential of the business that they own. Fair enough. I don't argue that. So I guess if we're saying that GameStop is worth $18 a share in cash and Bitcoin combined, and the stock's trading at $23 a share, I guess we're saying that the company's business, which is their retail stores, is worth $5 a share. I mean, that's what the market is saying. At $23 a share, that's exactly what the market is saying. The stock market right now will give you $23 a share for your GameStop if you want to sell it. And they know 18 of that money, 18 of that 23 is the cash they've got, which, I mean, is unthinkable from 2 years ago. 4 years ago, when we first met, many of you, how much cash did GameStop have? $450 million? How much debt did GameStop have? About $450 million. They had nothing. They had the retail stores. And what was their stock trading at? Well, depending on when in 2021 we're talking about, at one time, the stock was hundreds of dollars a share, and it was worth $5 a share in cash, not even in cash. But here we are in 2025 with an $18 a share cash value, give or take, and a $5 business value, according to the stock. Now, I say, my opinion is, with now over $8 billion in cash, they're going to do something with this money. They're not going to do something. They're yes going to do something. The question is, what are they going to do with $8 billion? Are they going to use $1 billion to do this and $1 billion to do that and $1 billion to do that? Are they going to diversify into 4 or 5 or 6 different things at $1 billion a piece and attempt to bring capital in from 5 different angles? Are they going to buy the company that they are now partnered with that specializes in what they call grading comic books, where they take sports cards and comic books and grade them? Is that what they're going to do? Oh, let me show you something. Hang on a second. Be right back. I'm just over here, not going anywhere. Here's something for you. Let me show you this little ditty. Don't go away. Okay, just hang around. I'm right here. Here's a comic book. Here's a comic book. This is a comic book. It's a #1 issue. Spider-Man Unlimited. This was created in May of, I believe, 1991, if I'm not mistaken. It's a limited edition series. And in theory, I could take this with this backboard here. I could take this to a GameStop store and have them grade it, and they can tell me is it a mint condition book? I've never read it. I got 100 of them. I have 100 of these. How much is this worth? I put a $15 price sticker on it once. Tried to sell them at a flea market. I don't know. Is this worth $10, $15? It was originally priced at $4.95 Canadian, $3.95 American when it was printed over 24 years ago. So this is a 25-year-old comic. There were many made in those days. This one was a limited edition, Spider-Man Unlimited. Is there any value to this? Let me know. In theory, I could go to a GameStop store and walk in and go, in America, and I could say, hey, take a look at this. Is this worth anything? They might look at it, and after a minute or two, give me a value, give me an estimated value of the comic, and it might run me $5 to do it, or $10, or I don't know, whatever they charge. But did GameStop invest any money in that product? No. They're just giving me an opinion on what it's worth. If they say to me, this thing is worth about $25, that's what they go for. They might offer me an opportunity to sell it through their network. And I'd say, well, how would that be? And they'd say, well, we'll grade the book. We'll put the book into a holder, one of those hard plastic holders. We'll certify it as a near mint, whatever condition. And we'll list it on our website to our 55 million followers. And we'll put it out there for $45. And if it sells for $45, we get 20 and you get 25. Or we get 15 and you get 30. Would you be interested in that? Doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. I go, okay, sure, I'd be interested in that. Do I leave the book with you? Maybe. Maybe I don't leave the book with you. I don't know how this works. But I might leave the book with them. I'll give them $9.95 for the service of the grading and the packaging of it. Now it's listed. And if I get 30 gross and net out $20, I get $20 for this thing. I got 100 of them. It's $2,000 worth of books. Love to sell them for that, I guess. But what if they tell me these things? You can't find them in this condition very often. These are 24 years old. This is a book that we can sell for $60 on our website. This can be sold through if you go to eBay, you'll find these things for up to $150. I'm thinking, holy crap! I got $100 comic books. That's $10,000 worth of comic books. That's the kind of money I can use to write options with. This is where GameStop's going. GameStop is going into this division. I could bring sports cards to them or collector cards and get them graded. They might be able to resell them for me. They might literally buy them for me at a set price. And I need some money to pay down a credit card bill, or I need $20,000 to do option trading with. And I got boxes of this stuff from my childhood, and I can turn this into $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 over the next few months. I'll put that into the option market and make it grow faster than the value of this stuff going up from here. GameStop is going into a new business, high margin collectible business. And so the $5 a share value that GameStop has right now is woefully inadequate. I think GameStop will be worth a lot more money. And they've got $8 billion in cash. If they spend $1 billion to buy the grading company, this so-called sports grading service, maybe they'll just buy them and make it part of GameStop. Now they have two divisions: the GameStop retail division with their website, and the grading service that in itself is an operating entity out there in the internet, in the field of the in the social media world. In other words, GameStop just increased their social media presence by $1 billion. Maybe that's what they're going to do here. What are they going to do with the other $7 billion? Buy another billion of Bitcoin? If Bitcoin goes to 150,000 a coin a year from now, GameStop could be up 50% on every Bitcoin they've ever bought. Is that possible? Do they have 15,000 Bitcoins and they're up $50,000 a Bitcoin? 750 million in gains. The stock at $23 a share is a freaking joke. This stuff should be 30 plus now. But the problem is the market doesn't know what we're talking about here, because the market doesn't get the news from anybody. The market the investors of the world can't read Wall Street Journal news reports on GameStop and its intimate upside. New York Times isn't going to do it. Washington Post isn't going to do it. CNBC, they're not going to cover GameStop. But to be fair to all these media organizations, has the company welcomed into their front doors media for an interview? No. So there isn't any. So it's partially GameStop's fault. And maybe the reason that GameStop just raises money right now and doesn't really talk about it very much is because they're not done raising money right now. Maybe their game plan is to raise another 2 or 4 or 10 billion more. Maybe they're looking to get to 15 billion in cash. Maybe by the time they finish raising cash on a per share breakdown, the value of the company is $25 a share in cash. And maybe then, just maybe then, they will diversify into larger deals, $3 to $5 billion acquisitions that will then really cause a stir in the market. And that's when the shares go to 50, because they're worth 25 in cash plus 25 in potential. But I don't know when that is. But in the meantime, you can write options on the stock without owning it. You can write cash secured puts and not own a single share of GameStop and be paid money to offer to buy the stock for a certain period of time. I mean, what kind of a deal is that? That is awesome sauce. Can you imagine going into your neighborhood where you live, seeing a house on the corner that you've coveted for years and years, and you know it's an $800,000 house, and you put up $700,000 and get paid $100,000 in cash to offer to buy the house for $700,000, $100,000 less than it's worth. You're offering to buy the house for $700,000, and here's $100,000 in cash to do it. Now that's an option. Now that's a way to make money, because if you if the market goes down in value in real estate and the owner comes to you and says, I'm selling you my house for $700,000. I got this put contract. You have to buy my house from me for $700,000. But you just got $100,000 6 months ago to do this deal. You're actually only coming up with $600,000. You're buying the dream house for $600,000. And it was worth $800,000 when you wrote the contract. What? Can you imagine if this happened in real estate? I tell you. Welcome to the stock market and all the shenanigans that are going on where you can be the casino and make this kind of money. It's insane. In proportion, of course. Welcome to the party, pal. GameStop is underpriced. SoFi is underpriced. Certain stocks are overpriced. Yep. Tesla is probably overpriced. Trading at 190 times earnings, probably overpriced. So, you know, its upside is not as robust as maybe GameStop is. I can see GameStop going to $50 a share, but I can't see Tesla tripling in price in the next year. I don't see anything on the horizon that will make Tesla do that. Sure, Tesla can go up $100 a share. It can go down $100 a share. We know the volatility of Tesla. But would you like to make money on Tesla without owning Tesla as well? You can do that as an option writer from a very safe distance. As a matter of fact, would you like to control and enjoy being part of $1 million worth of Tesla stock for only a couple $1,000? Can be done as an option writer. Stick around here long enough, you'll learn this stuff. But if you take my classes, you'll definitely learn how you can be involved with millions of dollars of Apple, Microsoft, Google, NVIDIA stock, Tesla stock, Facebook stock, millions of dollars of these shares for 5, 10, 15 grand of capital. And you're enjoying some profits without owning a single share of these multi-trillion-dollar companies. If you're that motivated, you'll make it happen. If you're not that motivated, you're going to watch this channel for 5 minutes and go somewhere else and play a video game. I get it. 99% of the market out there will never be option writers. Only 1% will really do this to make money. And of the 1%, those with the most knowledge of how options really work will thrive beyond ability. And that's why right now 225 people are here and not 2.25 million. 2.25 million less 225 million are working, commuting, in meetings, flying, driving, writing reports. They're making a set amount of money in a set amount of time to have a set amount of expenses paid for in a set amount of days, weeks, and months. And that's the system. And it works for many, many people, more or less, and it doesn't work for many, many people. And there are many, many people who would prefer not to be in that system, but they're in that system due to circumstances beyond their control, and there they are. And then there are you guys. You are the free agents who are out there. You are the wild ones who are able to change your life. You have become so disenfranchised and so disinterested in the norm that you've decided, no, Uncle Bruce, I'm going rogue. I'm going completely rogue here. I'm going to be an independent financial asset manager. My financial asset manager is what I'm going to be. And some of you have been forced into this role. You inherited money. You got an inheritance. Some of you have sold a business. You've had a business for 10, 15 years. You never thought your life would ever be outside of that. And you sold the biz. You sold the building that the business was in. You're out of a job. You've put yourself on the unemployment line. However, you got a bunch of money in the bank account. And you're now in between. You're coming to a fork in the road. Which way am I going? And one of them has come up. Here's an off lane along the highway of the Uncle Bruce channel, the Stock Markets with Bruce channel, writing options for a living. You're curious because you took a business from wherever it was to where you got it to. You sold it for hopefully a bunch of money, or you broke even or whatever. But you now have something, and you're now going. Are you telling me, you balding old fart with white hair? Are you telling me I can be self-employed with less than $100,000? and make money being an option writer. I mean, a nice living. Pray tell, give me more. And so after a few days and weeks of hanging around here, watching my watching my previous programs and just following me along, taking a class here, taking a class there, they go, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Well, that's an interesting way to make money in the stock market. I never knew I could do that. Honestly, I thought only big institutional investors could do this, because that's what they talk about on CNBC all the time. They talk about the institutional investors. They don't tell you, deep down who they are. In some cases, you meet people who are representing an institutional entity, but they're not the ones in charge. They're not the ones doing the trades. They're the spokespeople. They're the marketing managers. They're managing other people's money. They're not going to tell you their secrets. I'm telling you their secrets. I'm telling you how they make their money. I'm telling you how they make money for their organization that ultimately makes their investors more money. And so when you watch YouTube videos of very nice cars in Monaco, and you see these videos where these $1 million Bugattis, multi-million-dollar cars drive up to the Paris Hotel in Monte Carlo, where they have the Monaco Grand Prix race. You see these really nice cars pull up, and the doors open up vertically, and here comes the guy with the hat coming to help the lovely-looking woman get out of the car, and the guy coming out looking pretty slick. Or not looking very slick. I mean, oh my God, you see what some of these schleps are wearing? It's incredible, isn't it? And they're going into the hotel, and they come back and they give the attendant a cash tip for bringing me the car. Can you imagine how much that tip is? It can't be $5. It couldn't be. Got to be, I don't know, is it $100? What do you tip a guy that's parking your multi-million-dollar car for you and bringing it back for you? What? I don't know. It's not the world I'm in. Anyway, when you watch that, I'm just saying, these people probably have a friend or own themselves one of the yachts in the harbor there, and they have a nice villa in the neighborhood too. These folks have people who manage their money for them. They have many people, many people, some of which are hedge funds. Those hedge funds manage these people's dollars, francs, Deutschmarks, euros, and francs and pounds and dollars. And those people are option writers. And that's what you are. So I'm turning you into these multi-billionaire money managers, but managing your money at your scale. And that's what I do here. That's what people around here are figuring out, even with something like GameStop, because I'm not going to put you into a $2,000 stock that you should do these complicated derivative trades with. No. Let's get back to where you are. You're in your rec room right now. You're in your bedroom. You're in your PJs, or you're not wearing anything right now. I don't want to know. You're in front of your television in the living room. Your kids are playing with some toys. You're desperately trying to get them fed and out of the house and going to school. I don't know. But I know you're not in a top-notch penthouse in the French Riviera, okay? You're somewhere in suburbia, somewhere around the world, looking at this channel going, can you help me make $500 today, Uncle Bruce? Is there a strategy you can throw at me that if I write some zero-day to options expiries today that I can make $300-400 today? Can you help me do that every day of the month? So I'm bringing in 6, 8, 10,000 a month, because that would make a huge difference around here. And I say yes. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the channel where this is possible. Larry, I am suspecting, Larry Titus, has likely done what he does best, and that is he's probably hit the bells to signal to all of us that trading has begun for the day. It is Wednesday, June the 18th, 2025. Thank you so very much. And welcome to the program. Nice to have it. Giddy up, everybody. Nice to have you here. Here we go. B Tizzle, that 9.8 graded Spider-Man Unlimited #1 that I'm seeing an average recent sell price is around $50. This comic book is around $50 now. I have 100 of them. I used to have 500 of them. in my store. I have 100 left of these. They're available. I just don't know how to get them to you. In any event, Jen keeps saying you should sell this stuff, and I go, yeah, I know, but I don't know how to. I'm tired. I'm really tired. Anyway, there you go. So what can I say? Thank you all. Bagel Babe, thank you for number 119 thumbs ups. Corinne 118, thank you. Juan says, looks like that, depending on the condition of that book, it could go for $200. And James the Misty Tree, one of those comics sold recently on eBay for $79, another one for $50, grading 9.8. There you go. So what can I say? Welcome all to the program. We're closed tomorrow. That's right. We're closed tomorrow. Yeah, if any of you know how I can, how can I liquidate these books in a reasonable, kind of easy way, I would be really, I'd be really interested in that. Yes, that's true. Charlie, hey, the first option right was 3 GameStop calls last year. Premium, they paid me $315. I think it was. That's all it took. Watched your lessons, and I haven't looked back. Retirement is closer and looks much rosier now. There you go. There you go. I love this. Thank you all so very much. Good morning, everyone from around the world. Crazy 49er, hey, good morning from 33,999 feet. Wait, 34,004 feet, and somewhere over France, coming back to America. Crazy 49er, how you doing, pal? I got your photos. I saw the lounge photos you sent me. I love it. I just love it. Hey, thank you so much. It's awesome, man. This is awesome stuff. ALA is here. Good morning. And Alex, I bought HPQ at 29 and I sold a $30 call. I think that was 2022. It feels like yesterday, man. I can't believe it. The first time you ever wrote contracts. Oh my God. Can you remember the first time you ever wrote contracts? What was the first contract you wrote and why? What was it that you wrote and how much did you get for it? What was it? Did you write a call on GameStop? How many? Do you remember what you got? Richard, thank you for being here. Sharon, Eddie, Mark C, the Big E is here. Stuart, JJ, Stock Jockey, Doug, Twilight Zone, CKT, Legacy, Chase, Rosita Parker, Rice Checks is here. Louie, Corinne, Charlie, of course. The man, Stock Jockey, Christina, Hector, hello, good morning. Aurora, Murray, good evening and afternoon from Tokyo, already in the 30 Celsius in Japan, Bruce. The next 3 months in Japan are too hot for this boy. You're back from New Zealand, I suppose. Welcome. Andrea is here, number 45, Bongiorno. James the Misty Tree, number lucky, number 50. Bobby is here. There's Alex. Jeff Glass, good morning from Taos, New Mexico. First time with cell service in a couple of days. Enjoying shrinkage while vacationing. Am I doing this right? Oh, yes. Good morning. Margin Called is here. Mandu 5 is here. Welcome. Larry, Titus, Hector, Dave, Penny. I'm still working through the first 5 classes. I'm not a member yet, though. I need some direction and help from my next decision. Dak is here. Trip. Dave Penny, AL, what's this? Something July, is it AI July 18? Expiry $35 cash secured puts are coming due soon, and I'm underwater 40%. So do I buy them back and write another 6 months out to collect a little more premium? Well, this is the thing with AI, with the AI stock. Let's take a look at this thing here. Just let me crank my market. We're up 9 on the Dow at the moment, I believe. Hang on, let me just refresh everything. So AI stock is 24.05, and you've written $35 cash secured puts. So you're in the money. These contracts are worth about $10 each in book value. So in theory, you could make almost 11 actually. If you buy them back because they're expiring next month, you could simply write $35 cash secured puts for January of 26 or June or July of 27, again, depending on which series we're talking about. Could you bring in a couple of dollars more than what you would pay to buy these back because you're offering time? On the other hand, is it possible that you buy the 35s back that are in the money? I don't know what you got for them, obviously. And then you write 33s or 30s for a year out. Would the 30s being 5 in the money, 6 in the money, plus a premium give you enough to cover the buyback of these and still leave you with an original credit on the trade? That's a strategy you can look at. Obviously, if the AI goes to $30 a share anytime in the next 6 months, and don't put it past this stock, those cash secured puts, whether the 30s or 33s or 35s, will be worth a lot less money the higher the stock goes. There's a win for you there, but you got to check the rollover here on what to do. Definitely. What else is going on, James? We spent 6 hours getting a new car on Monday. During paperwork, I tried to explain about being an options writer, and I saw the salesman's eyes glaze over a bit. Let's just say we'll call you retired. What's your profession? Well, I write these stock options and I do these credit spreads. Retired. Stock jockey. Welcome to the party, pal. Lee, my redundancy is coming up in the next 4 weeks, and I'll be a full-time option writer. They're letting me go. I'm out of here. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Rocketeer says, Jeff Glass, yes, you're doing it right. Making dollars from the decay while on vacation. It's the best feeling in the world. Bobby, I love making money during vacation. This is fun. Henry, stock market will be closed tomorrow. Uncle B, Lee, I forgot I was an option writer last week, and I bought 1,000 shares on the GameStop dips. Oops, I have to do covered calls instead. Or you just sell the stock for a gain, turn around and write cash secured puts, and just play that game. I mean, you got a gain on it, you take it, now add to the gain by writing a cash secured put on the capital that represents the stock. I mean, there's ways. Or write a covered call, sure. A Rocketeer, Lee, not a bad problem to have, Giddy up. Thank you, everybody, for helping me with how much is this comic book worth. I don't know. I have others. I have others. There you go. What else? What do we got? Larry, thank you. DH and Richard hitting the knee emojis. We're open. Rocketeer laughing. I can't wait to sell cover calls on my comic book collection. ALA. Neat. Anyway, giddy up all. What's going on? Splayer's here saying hi to everybody, telling us what he's doing. JV, good morning, everybody. Let's get this dinero today. All right, let's do that. Well, at the moment, the Qs are up about 32 cents. They're not doing very much because the market isn't doing much. The Dow looks to be up about 50 points. We're up 5 on the S&P 500. It's a nothing burger. We're up 7.8 points on NASDAQ. We're not going anywhere. The VIX is negative. It's negative 73, so that's better, but it's at 20.87. So we were over 21 here after being down to 16 earlier in the week. Gold is up 670 an ounce. Oil is up 85 cents at 75.64. So things seem to be calming a little at the moment. The Qs are up 25 cents, 27 cents at 529.36. And for the first hour, you don't do a thing because who knows what the next news announcement is from who, what, where, and why. So let's see what gives. SoFi is up 18 at 14.62. And then GameStop is up 23 cents at 23.22. Rocket Lab up 26 cents. IBM up $1.65. This IBM is overpriced based on its earnings. But it's got this hype around it about this quantum computer story. But I am noticing that between 278 and 285 is kind of a range-bound thing for this stock. So any of you can do rollovers to the 290 to the 300 range for call credit spreads, you might want to look at those. Again, the further out you go, you might be able to go higher and guarantee a further departure from the market to see shrinkage. Some of you, a little bolder, might look at put credit spreads as a way of doing a condor. But again, that's, you got to want to play that. NVIDIA down 31 cents. ASTS up 163 to 41.73 now. HIMS 60.95 up 175. MSTR down 4.25. AI up 24 cents helping a little there. Super Micro up 36, Tesla up 470, Palantir at 138.62 up 42 cents. It's been in this 135.45 range lately. Palantir did hit an all-time high of 144.86, trading at 600 times earnings. A little rich, yeah, but it's had a hell of a run. Google down 8 cents, Apple up 3 cents, Microsoft down 149, Meta up 78, Broadcom up 189, Amazon up 80, Intel up 16, Netflix up 11.80. What else going on? Coinbase is up 85 cents, Costco up 42, Uber up 56, Cisco's up 25, AMD is up 57, Unity up 4, Enphase up 89 cents, only at 35.85 a share. Now up 93 cents. Pfizer down 14, HBQ down 4, Home Depot up 32 cents, Vanik up $1, Goldman unchanged, Boeing down 79 cents, now Boeing down 250. Target up 18 cents, JP Morgan up 322, Walmart up 28 cents, Disney down 8, American Airlines up 3, DraftKings up a nickel, AMC down a dime at 303, Royal Caribbean up 46 cents. So not a lot going on. It's a very quiet session. We're closed tomorrow. We're open Friday. And those of you out there looking to score a credit spread trade, you may find today not a lot of premium because of lack of volatility until, guess who speaks later? The Rugman. Powell is going to speak to the press at, 2 Eastern? Is that about right? It's noon my time. Regarding the Fed meeting, and we'll have heard whether the Fed has changed interest rates at all. We don't anticipate anything. And I would say that if there was a move by a quarter of a point lower, I don't know if the market will have a real romp on it. Although, if he were to indicate that they're leaning towards cutting, the market would love that. They would love that feeling that, rates could start coming down. But I don't know if that's in the cards. I'm really not so sure about that. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Nice to have you here. Who else is here? Good morning, everybody, from Juan. Juan MJM, ASS trying to find new highs. Let's go. Number 132, thumbs up, Bruce. And Splair, hey, I was about to mention 1460 on the SoFi, 1464 now, up 22. Charlie, I wrote an IBM 2 June 20 expiry, 290, 290, 250. That's a covered call spread, a call spread, sorry, for a 30-cent premium. Looks all right today, looking for free shrinkage tomorrow. So this dies Friday, 290, 290, 250 on IBM with the stock at 284.70. So these contracts are at least on his 290. He is out of the money, 530 a share. So if this stock stays under 290 between now and Friday close, he keeps 30 cents premium. Now, that's a $30 collection times 2, $60. He put up $500 to bring in $60. That is 12% between now and Friday night. There you go. Now there's a 0 day to expiry trade. It's like a 2 day to expiry trade. Fair enough, right? Day and a half, day and 3/4. Now Charlie might be out of this trade tonight. If the stock later today drops $2 or $3 down to 281, these contracts will lose some value. On the other hand, he waits until Friday morning, first hour or 2 or 3 of the day, Friday morning, and the shares of IBM are under 285 or more like 280, 278. These drop dramatically, and he will score a win. So if he waits till the end, Friday afternoon, he might buy these back for a nickel, 3-cent spread. Not at all. Just let them die worthless and keep all of it. There's a trade. Henry, my cash secured put NVIDIA. 7-Eleven, $138, $3.99, $138 a share, $3.99 is, I'm up 33% on my 138. Okay, NVIDIA is 143.98, and he wrote a 138 put, cash secured put. So he's out of the money. The put is worthless. It's trading at $3.99, and he's ahead 33% right now. That's a July 11 expiry, I think. So that dies in 3 weeks from now? About 3 weeks from now. Yeah, baby. Enjoy the shrinkage, my friend. Nvidia this morning down a dime. Doesn't have to move in at all for him to make more money. The 138 contract with a 144 stock price, he's 6 out of the money. This will continue to shrink. If Nvidia wants to go up to 145 today, 146 today, he'll be 8 out of the money. He'll be up probably 40%. And of course, a week from now, a week of shrinkage from now, which would put us at June the 25th, this contract would be then down to 16 days. He'll be up 50, 60%, I think, at that point. So Henry is watching himself. He's watching himself get richer by doing this. He's just going, I'm getting richer by just folding my arms, Uncle Bruce. I like this game. There you go. If the contract is $4 and he's up a third already on his investment, he must have sold them for $4 something, $4.50. Yeah, or $5. I don't know. They're worth $4. He maybe sold them for $4.75. They're worthless. They're worth nothing in value. Just time, and you take the amount of time that's left from now until the 11th day of July. We got 12 days here plus 11. That's 23 days of life, and they're at $4 a piece. So you divide $4 by 23 days, and that includes weekends and holidays. You're talking shrinkage of so much a day, right? Probably 15 cents a day. But if you take away the holidays and weekends, we've only got 2 days this week, today and Friday, and then 5 days after. There's probably only 17 days left on this contract, if that's even true. 17 days divided into $303.99. It's almost 18 to 20 cents a day of shrinkage. $18 to $20 a day of shrinkage for the contract every day. Now, if you do 10 contracts and you're getting $20 a day of shrinkage, that's $200 a day of shrinkage working for you. That's making you $200 a day, 5 days a week richer, $1,000 a week, $50,000 a year. Hello. Welcome to another world. Welcome to a world that doesn't exist at your cubicle out there. Zed, Uncle Bruce, after buying back 50 GameStop covered call contracts for pennies this week, I'm waiting to write 50 contracts on GameStop, or should I just write now? What should I do here? Well, what's GameStop doing now? Right at this moment, it's up 14 cents at $23.13. I mean, in theory, you could write covered calls. Sure. How far out do you want to go in time? How far ahead of the current market price do you want to write your contracts for? Those are questions only you can answer. I can't answer those for you. By the way, I can give you 143 thumbs up. So thank you, Zed, for number 143. Look, Zed, you got obviously choices galore to make money. And I love it. You got 50 contracts you can write. Can you write 50 contracts that will bring you $4 a share in premium? I don't know which ones those are. Are those at the money calls going forward a few months? Are those just out of the money, maybe 25s, good for a year or longer? I don't know. You got to check your option chain to figure this out. On the other hand, you could play another game. And again, I don't know your situation. I don't know where these shares are. Is it a cash account, margin account, a retirement account? For me, I don't know. But theoretically, in theory, you could sell all these shares and then write cash secured puts instead. So sell the stock at $23.16, turn around and write $20 cash secured puts for a year and bring in how many dollars to buy the stock back at 20, less your discount, less your cash deal. Maybe that's your trade. Maybe that's the way you want to play this thing. I don't know what you need, want, would accept. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those, I don't know which way to go on this. I know that January 26th expiry, $20 cash secured puts, of which you could do at least 50, if not more, because you can write more than 50. You'll get 310 to 375 each. You'll get about 350, 360 for them in cash, according to this bid ask. Again, my bid ask is not accurate. I don't know how accurate I am, but it's over $3 a share. So if you could do 50 of those, you'll bring in 15 grand additional cash. If you were to write 23s, where the market is now, for January 26th, you could bring in almost $5, $5.25 a contract to buy the stock back for what you're selling it for. In other words, you're willing to pay $18 a share, $17.50 a share for until January, but they'll give you $5. That's more than 20% of the value of your stock, of your money. That's a 20% gain on your money right now. So that's interesting. If you were to write $25 cash secured puts, you would be paid about maybe close to $7. That means you're paying 18 for the stock. If you were to go out to June 26th, $20 cash secured put, you might get 5 for that. That would mean you're paying $15 a share. You write 23s, you'll get more like 6.5. Maybe you can get 6.5, 7. I don't know. It's a very thin market. But if you did get 7 or 6 something, that's a big pot of money. 25s for a year out. 780 last trade that I see. I don't know. Is it worth? Are they worth 750? Because it's pretty wide bid ask. You may not be able to do much with those. On the other hand, like I said, you come in much closer in. You write July 2025 cash secured puts. Offer to buy the stock for $22. You'll get about 65 cents a contract. These expire July 3rd. That's very close in. You want to go to July, let's forget the 11th. Let's go to July 18th, the third Friday of the month. Third Friday of the month, July 20s, you'll get about 47 cents. July 23s, $1.70. That's at the money, cash secured put right now for a month from now. 25s, you'll get about $3. So that's a $22 commitment to buy back the stock. So sell it for $23.14. Offer to buy it back at net 22 by taking $23.12 and $3. Get $26.12 right now and be willing to give them $22 a share for 1 month only. I'm just saying, if the stock goes higher, these puts will go low. So yeah, Zed, you've got a zillion combinations you can play here, including credit spreads on puts. So there's that. I would have to sell my leaps and I could go into cash secured puts. Yeah, that's true too. Of course, 50, if you can write 50 contracts because of leaps, you could sell your leaps for probably a gain, I hope. Use all that cash to then write cash secured puts instead of doing this. And if you go to January, you can bring in some nice premiums, or July next, or June next year, I guess it is. How much return on your money? You got to do, get your pen out, get your calculator out, and see if it's worth your while. For some of you out there, knowing that you can haul in 20 to 30% cash as a premium over the capital that you have in your stock might encourage you to go, well, a 30% gain on my stock right now, the $23 stock goes up 30%. That would run it up about $7 a share. That's like going to $30, $31. If I could right now get the equivalent of $31 a share in my hand in cash by writing a cash secured put, and then I put that money to work earning daily interest for the 6 months or so, or a year, 4 to 7% interest based on what ETF you want to buy, high yielding bond ETF. Add that to the equation. Well, 7% interest for a year on your money. at $30 a share is another $2 a share in interest. That means that's a $32 to $33 sale. So you're taking a $23 stock, turning into $33 in cash between now and a year from now to do this. For some of you, that might be the right trade. Again, I mentioned it. Now, some of you can't do this trade in your RRSPs, in your retirement accounts, your 401ks, your IRAs. Some of you can. Some of you definitely can do this trade in a margin account. It's totally up to you. Welcome to the channel where people learn how to write options and make money all kinds of ways. It's not straightforward, just one thing. We don't do just one thing. There's a lot of people out there who think, oh, all I got to do is figure out just one thing, Uncle Bruce, and it's all good. As soon as I figure out this one thing, it'll all work out. No, it's not just one thing, but it can be a very profitable way to make some dough. And I say, welcome to the party, pal. Great to have you here with us, learning how to write options. It's certainly a wonderful way to get liberated from a prison, no question about that. A financial prison, you might be able to get out of that kind of a thing and completely change your life. You'll be looking pretty slick out there. I like that. Don't get caught and not learn the code. Don't do what Mr. Takagi did. He didn't want to share the code, and well, he won't be joining us for the rest of his life. You don't want to be doing that. Do this. Shrinkage King. Make a bunch of money on shrinkage. Do the opposite. Just like George Costanza did. He became incredibly successful from shrinkage and doing the opposite. And so can you. When this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you are going to see some serious you-know-what. And, of course, I'm here to worry about things to worry about when there's nothing to worry about. So, there you go. Make enough money and go on vacation to places like this. Do option writing on vacation from here in the wintertime. Why do option writing in Minnesota or Illinois or Manitoba or northern Scotland when you can do option writing from these kinds of places where you would have no trouble paying $4,000-6,000 a month for a condo because you're making $20,000-30,000 a month writing in these condos, the very options that will allow you to rent these condos for the wintertime. Why not do that? I fail to see the problem here. I really am having trouble understanding what the problem is. But do not forget, make sure to hit the thumbs up button because this man will come right up to you, point his nose into your nose, Mr. Strickland, and he will be looking for you in the hallway. You didn't give Uncle Bruce a thumbs up. How dare you not give Uncle Bruce a thumbs up? Don't drive him over the edge. He will lose it. Don't be doing that. Hit that thumbs up button. Help me out. Don't become Strickland on steroids. Come on. Help a guy out here. I'm trying to build a following, Thank you all so much. What do we got now? Oh, my goodness. The poll question of the day has attracted 236 responses. The thumbs up meter is now pushing 155. That's pretty good. The first time I wrote any stock options, I collected under $500. All of you were chicken shit scared. You couldn't believe it. You were panicking. You were worried. Am I doing the right thing? What is going to happen with my stock if I write a call option against my beloved stock? 73% of you collected under $500. Between $500 and $2,000, 18% of you did that. Between $2,000 and $5,000 for the first ever option write, 5% of you did that. That's like 12 of you. 12 people here got between $2,000 and $5,000 the first time they ever wrote options. And over $5,000, 3%. That's about 7 of you, I think. That's about 7 of you got over 5 G's the first time you wrote because you knew, oh, this is huge. This is a game changer. I'm sitting on 3,000 shares of GameStop, and I can bring in $3 a share, writing a measly contract. I'll do these. I'll bring in $9,000. Yeah, American, man. 9,000 American is $1,000,000 Canadian dollars. You have no idea. You can buy a house with that around here. Incredible. But I kid. It's only $500,000. Anyway, there you go. Welcome everyone to the show. Thank you for being here. There you go. SoFi has a nice trajectory right now. Trajectory. We're at 1470 on SoFi. High of the day, 1477. ALA, has anyone seen some news out there? One, I know it's early, but the 535, 40, 545 triple Qs, they're looking pretty good right now. We're at 529.88, only up. We're now at 530, actually up 96 cents. VJ, Charlie, a way to go on that IBM trade. Hector, Manitoba in winter. No, thank you. Mike, I have $23 cash secured puts in GameStop expiring Friday. Just sitting here with my arms folded. Auntie Jen is in the house. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. You're trying to do something here with my
Except, I think it's a sign of my age that you wake up in the morning and something hurts that did not hurt when you went to bed. So you know what I blame it on?
Your daughter.
No, you kicked me.
Oh, I'm just trying to pass it on any way I can. You were hanging out with your daughter last night. Maybe that's what did it. I don't know.
It's like my Achilles heel is sore.
You were walking around yesterday.
Well, yeah, but I do walk around.
Yeah, but you walked around a shopping mall yesterday. You put in steps.
But still.
Still.
This is a new one.
This is a new one.
Yes.
Yes.
I had my delayed Mother's Day last night, and you get your not so delayed Father's Day.
Yes, I will not have a bagel this morning on the air because right after this show's over,
it's brunch time.
I will be changing, and I will be getting ready to scoop up my beloved daughter and take her to Phil's Pancake House
home of the Chubby.
Home of a lovely breakfast. So she's taking me out for a Father's Day breakfast, and so I'm holding back, hold the reins. No bagel this morning because I'm going to load up on a wonderful breakfast this morning with my daughter, and yes,
just fix all the world's ills.
Well, talk about this and talk about that, and a few other little things. Folks are saying hello here. By the way, James the Misty Tree says that Motley Fool, one of these online stock picking outfits, they said that 2 bank stocks to buy right now: Bank of America, SoFi. Those are the 2 you buy. Charlie, I was thinking 535 also on the Qs one. ALA, thank you, James. Richard Carlin and Mr. Jonathan and Stephen Butler, Charlie, all say hi to Auntie Jen.
Good morning, Richie.
JV is saying, I'm going to give it, I got something to tell you.
I can't remember.
I got something for you in a minute here. JV, I'm going to give it 45 more minutes, and then I'm going to write the triple Qs today.
All right.
It has not hit 531 yet. I'm kind of thinking.
Today?
Barely. Today is interest rate day.
Oh, yeah. That Wednesday.
Today's interest rate day, so we're waiting. Okay,
What
so I was showing everybody this comic book.
Yeah.
I was telling my
Spider-Man
viewers,
Unlimited.
I have 100 of these, at least. I got at least 100.
You're going to kill your market.
I'm dying to sell them. I'd love to liquidate them for some dough. I don't know what I can get for them. So I was talking about how GameStop is going to be a great collectible
Going
system.
great.
So, if I could sell these 100 books, I'd be curious. Now, I once had a $15 sticker on this sleeve because this is like 10 years ago. I was trying to flog them at a flea market.
But these are
no
all
takers.
Like the good cardboard in the...
Yeah, they got the cardboard
the
backing, and I've done... Anyway, it's the number 1 issue from 1992 or 93. 1993, there it is.
Spider-Man Unlimited.
And it was one of 8, I think. They did 8 of these.
With
or
the Venom.
10 of them, I don't know. But it was a Spider-Man Unlimited. And I had 500 of them in my comic book store, sports card store back in 1993. And over the years, I flogged, a bunch of them. Then I have this leftover batch. Anyway, so I was asking people, what do you think this is? What can I get for this? So I got all kinds of comments. people saying, I saw one sell on eBay for $50.
There you go.
Then someone else says, I saw them sell various sales up to 200.
Right, because that comic
It's a limited edition.
has only ever been open to have the cardboard.
Oh yeah, I've never been read.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
my claim to fame.
There you go. Yeah.
Is a Cerebus crossover. So to Spider-Man. So it's kind of in color and kind of in black and white because Cerebus is black.
Isn't it Spawn?
It is Spawn.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Cerebus Spawn
so
crossover.
Those are both Canadian authors, and I have the signature of both of them.
She's got the autographs.
McFarlane and Sim.
Yeah, she has one of those.
I have one of those. And again,
bidding starts now.
I've never opened it to read.
She never opened it to read it,
which I don't like. I think these things you're
should be
supposed
read.
to play with the cards. You're supposed to read the comics.
Well, in my case,
I cracked open that Simpsons and took the poster.
I'm not a comic reader. I don't care. I was a retailer, and I'm just an old man with a bunch of comic boxes here that I would love to offload. I got about 6,000 comics here. No, not anymore. No, I have about 4,000 comic books.
Ooh, cutting down.
I'd love to get rid of these. I need the space. I don't know what it's worth. I don't know how to liquidate them. I don't know. So anybody have any ideas? You let me know. Anyway, so that's what I was talking.
We have to go to GameStop, and
they don't grade them in Canada. They do in the States. As far as I know, maybe things will change. I don't know.
Yes, I have my private collection.
Well, there is that. Amandu number 5. Good morning, Auntie Jen and
Mandu.
Mike H. Got to get it PSA graded for real money. You got to get the PSA grading for real dough. And therein lies the issue. I have 100 of these. Do I want to go through this whole exercise? Would it be better to have an agent that I can work through? Because again, time is money. I'm willing to.
And if you put them all out at the same time.
Well, maybe I can do a block deal. Maybe someone out there goes, I'll take all 100 of them from you. I'll do a straight buy and let me deal with it from there. It'll take me a couple of years to offload them, but I'll make my money over time. Give you dough right now. There you go.
Don't ray me money.
Don't ray me cash. There you go. I don't know. James of the Misty Tree. Comic prices can fluctuate wildly if there's a popular movie out with the character too. Exactly. Right. I've been waiting for Spider-Man Unlimited movie to come out. I don't know if that will ever happen. No, I don't know.
I tell you, I'm sure you have told them the story of how we had Spider-Man come to the store. And how
we hired
Spider-Man.
Through Marvel Comics, we hired a Spider-Man.
There's only 2
to come into my retail store.
There's
in
one 1992. In LA and one in New York.
Yeah, there's one in LA. There was at the time in 1992, one in LA and one available from New York.
And this kid knew everything. You could not stump him.
We had he was about a 20-year-old guy, a 21-year-old guy, skinny as hell, of course.
Wearing the costume.
Just before the movies came out. And he had the suit. And I picked him up at the airport in Cities. And we booked a hotel for him. And we had him in our store for 2 days, Saturday, Sunday.
A card event going on in the mall.
Yeah. The shopping mall that I was in, the biggest mall in Calgary, we had I went to them, to the marketing department about a month or two before, and I owed them a lot of money. I owed my landlord a few months' rent. We were somewhat behind because comic book sales and card sales were slumping. And so I came to them, I said, look, I have an idea on how I can catch up on some dough I owe you. They said, well, we're all ears. So I said, I'll bring in Spider-Man. I can bring him in. I'm a retailer. I'm allowed to bring him in. I can contract him. And the mom and dads and children can come to the store, on this day. I was thinking we would do, picture and autograph. I thought what we would do is maybe the mall, we put tables in the mall every 100 feet with other sports weekend warriors, card warriors, and let them sell cards in there. But that would attract a whole lot of card collectors into the mall for Saturday, Sunday. And I'll be the host of this whole thing. I'll coordinate all of that. And I'll pay for Spider-Man and all this. So they said to me, here's what we'll do. We'll provide the tables, and we figured out there would be 100 locations of tables available. I think it was 100, maybe 60. And you, Bruce, you sell the tables and handle those guys.
Yeah.
Make sure that they adhere to our rules about
Right.
cleanliness in the mall and all that. Yes, fine. You whatever you collect, you get from them. Okay, you pay your Spider-Man guy from that. Whatever you do in business in your store, you do in business from your store. And we, the mall, will spend $25,000 in our promotion budget for the Saturday, Sunday Spider-Man thing. Come on down to the mall, and we will do radio, television, and
Print
newspaper
ads,
And let's see what happens. I said, great.
It was so much
But
fun.
I owed them like $6,000 or $7,000 in a back money. So we'll see how you do on all this. We'll see how it works out. So I put the word out through all the other collectors. You can get a table. Can get a table in the mall. We're bringing in Spider-Man. I booked Spider-Man, confirmed Spider-Man, and sold the tables, and brought in enough money to pay for Spider-Man, because we had to fly him up, we had to host him, we had to pay the fee. So we did all that. We did the 2 days. It was fantastic. The mall was packed with shoppers because of this. And of course, they came to our store because that's where he was. And there you go. But the problem for me was I am now selling product in my store at retail prices against Weekend Warriors on tables just down the hallway from my store, all the way along the mall. These guys are selling product at half my price because they are just Weekend Warriors.
Yeah.
But I got Spider-Man. So we had a typical weekend. We didn't make any more money or any less money, but we did make enough from the tables to pay for the Spider-Man promotion. And my store got a lot of PR from it. Yeah. Ultimately never saved the place, but nonetheless. The week later, I went back to the landlord to kind of recap how did it go. They were delighted. They said, we had more traffic in Saturday and Sunday than we have for Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. There were more people here because of your Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And we've decided that $6,000 you owe us,
we're
done. We're writing it off. You don't owe us any money. And so I kind of broke even on the whole thing, but I eliminated this IOU. Unfortunately for me, it didn't put $6,000 in my pocket. It just took $6,000 off my ass, which ultimately the store went under later anyway. But Spider-Man put us on the map.
Our 5-year-old daughter.
Our 4-year-old daughter.
4-year-old daughter got a little private time. A surprise private time.
So she met this gentleman from Los Angeles in Civies in the store, but you're not allowed to disclose who he is. He did not. Yeah. She did not quite realize who this guy was.
And then she went to Grandma and Grandpa's for the weekend.
That's right. And she came home on the I think my Spider-Man guy was flying out Sunday night back to Los Angeles. And it was Sunday afternoon, late or something, or whatever it was. I took him for a bite to eat with my daughter, and I was going to drive him to the airport. And and he asked me in private. He said, "Do you think it would be possible to go somewhere where I can change into my Spider-Man outfit and talk to her individually?" And just have a visit with her. I said, "Oh, I can wait this. I can do this." So we went to the University of Calgary because I knew at our long skating track facility there were public bathrooms and stuff. And on a Sunday afternoon, there's nobody there. So we went there, and I showed him the rink and everything. And this is where we had the Olympics for the speed skating event. Yeah. Really cool place. He said, "This is really cool." And so he went into the bathroom area. He changed out of his street clothes into his Spider-Man outfit. And then my daughter and I were standing outside just kind of looking around, and he came out of the bathroom very quietly. And I said, "Oh, look who we have here." And my daughter turned around. "Oh, Spider-Man is here." I said, "Looks like we have a visitor from Spider-Man." So he came up to her, and he talked to her, because he talks through the suit.
Yeah.
And she's
And
not.
he's so good.
She's not a comic book kid. This is not a comic book
No,
child.
he is so good with children.
He was so great, and they spent
Maybe he grew
about
up to Disney.
they spent about 5-10 minutes talking to each other, and he said, "Well, I better get going. I have things I have to do, so we'll see you. Goodbye." And then he went back into the bathroom.
And we got some pictures.
And then my daughter and I went walking around a bit. I took some photos, and then after that, he came back out, and we talked again. And then I took him to the airport, and
she's like, "You'll never believe it."
and I dropped him off. And my daughter said to me, do you think that the guy who was Spider-Man was just the guy we dropped off at the airport? 4.5-year-old kid. I said, well, I'm not allowed to say things. So I'm not allowed to reveal certain secrets. And she says, me too. She knew.
Well, his voice is
fantastic. It was absolutely just so adorable.
She totally believed what
she was years ahead of everybody else at a 4-year-old age. But I said, Spider-Man specifically wanted to talk to you. And not in the store with anybody else, not in front of anybody else. He wanted one-on-one time with you. And that he would take the time to do that. And she went, yeah, that is special.
Young man in tight spandex.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he ended up making about $1,000 out of it for himself, and it cost me the airplane ticket and the hotel and a fee to Marvel. And
he got to come and see Calgary.
And he'd never been to Calgary before, and he thought this is a really cool place. And he is now in his 50s. He was 21 then. It's 32 years later. What's he now? 55. Is he still 110 pounds soaking wet, or 120 soaking wet? I don't know what he weighed, 130 pounds.
I'm sure they rotate them probably every 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah. He was fantastic.
And you got to fit the suit and be really good with kids. And he had to read he knew everything. Every Spider-Man comic book, because kids have a question for you, and he could answer. He had the answers. You could not stump this guy. Could not stump this guy. Anyway, on that Spider-Man, I'm out of here. Everybody have a really good Wednesday. Thank you, everyone. Tom says I am seeing 500 Canadian online for that comic book. Wow. Tom, and now I'm seeing $15 Canadian. And then Stephen, I had a friend who used to collect tobacco baseball cards, precursor to bubblegum cards, I guess. Yeah. He then advertised and held auction bids via phone. He sold them for $5,000 for a set. Stephen, this is late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. Stuart, good morning. Auntie Jen from Stuart. Bobby, sounds like she got poker. I don't know what that means. It's crazy. Nowadays, you'd call the cops if he asked for a one-on-one time with a child. Okay. Anyway, it was great. It was just great. Thank you all for saying hi to Auntie Jen. Jen, thank you so much. So no bagel. No bagel today, but Friday I'll have my bagel. Weird. I'm going to think it's Saturday. She's going to wonder what's wrong with me. I'm not making a bagel for this guy. I don't know. What is the matter? Bye. Auntie Jen, take care. We are up 198 on the Dow. So like I said, you want to give the market the first hour. If it wants to lift up, let it have a lift. Look at the Qs. They're up 251. Why write call credit spreads this morning when it was down to 528, 529, when right now it's up 249 and climbing? Let it go and put a call credit spread on this $5-6 higher if you can. Can you get up to 536, 37, 38, 540? Can you, I don't know, check the option chains. Are there credit spreads available at these kinds of prices? If so, this is perfect. You let the market have its little run, however far it wants to go. Watch the Dow, watch the S&P, watch the NASDAQ, watch the VIX, watch oil, just the whole feel, the market news cycle that's going on, and let the market have its little run. And if we begin to top out at 532, 532.50, 533, great. Okay, well, now we're going to shop for a credit spread that dies today. The Qs give up $1.50. It goes up 3.5 and gives up $1.50. A few hours from now, the whole thing takes place.
you'll make 50% return on your credit spreads, maybe more. Because if you're far enough ahead of the market that dies tonight, those contracts have no value. They didn't have them when you wrote them, and they're certainly further out of the market when you close it out. And there's the strategy right there. It's simple, it's conservative, it's controlled. You decide how many to write, what the spread will be, and there you go. This is the name of the game. One, I got in 536, 546. That's what I put together, 36.46. So he is 450, 420 out of the market, which 420 doesn't sound like a lot, but $4.20 on a Q multiplied by 40 gives you the equivalent NASDAQ out of the money position. So we're talking here about 170 points, 180 points out of the money with the NASDAQ at 19,600. It's up 111 right now. He is 180 points further out from a 111 gain to be in trouble on this trade. So yes, that's a very smart move. Can NASDAQ go up another 180 points on top of the 110 that it is gained today? That is the question. Okay. And in other words, the Qs, the high, all-time high, 540.81. 540.81. One is sitting at 536, going $4 from the all-time high. Are we going to get that close today? The day before a holiday? What economic news is going to make this market hit new all-time highs today? Again, it's a wager. Yeah, it's a conservative spread where you sit back and go, I dare you to come all the way up here. I dare you. I don't think you can do it. 19 cents what I got, and 1 cent is what I paid. Got an 18-cent gain on this trade, and that's it. 18 bucks per contract. There you go. Give me the dough. If he's doing 10, he's doing 10. He's doing 5, he's doing 5. Whatever he's doing. Now, we're up 211 on the Dow, roughly 209.3 on the Dow, 29.5 on S&P. We're up 108 on NASDAQ. And the Qs are 531.73, 536.46. Now, can you do a 536, 541? That's a $5 spread. It's 500 a position. I don't know what kind of credit you can get on those. Again, it's the second contract. The higher priced is the one you're buying. The lower one's the one you're selling. And so are you happy with an 18-cent credit? Would you rather be $1 closer to the market, but going to wait for the market to top out a little more if that's what's in the cards? Again, this is only 54 minutes into the day. You got another hour to decide this, really. There's no rush. For some of you, you might wait until you know who is going to speak. Because if Mr. Powell says something that the market just perceives or vibes positively, maybe the market will go to 533, 534. Maybe. And at that moment, you might then pull off a credit spread, a 539, 544, a 540, 544, a 540, 542. Dying today, you might do a 540, 550. I don't know. You'll measure the option chain and take your appropriate move and say, okay, I'm into this trade. I don't think the market will go up another 150 points. If the NASDAQ is up 200 points on a Powell optimistic statement, and you write credit spreads where the NASDAQ has to go up another 200 points in the last hour of the day, I think you're playing it very conservatively, very safely. I think you're going to win. It's just me. You can decide for yourself. Welcome all to the program. Nice to have you here. I hope it works for you. We got a lot to watch, as we always do. And I thank you all so much for being part of the family today. It's great to have you here. Giddy up, everybody. Welcome to the program. Nice to have you in the house. Let's see what we can do here to hopefully make you richer. 531.91 up 283 on the triple Qs today. For the the poll question of the day, we now have 253 responders. Thank you for that. On the thumbs up meter, we're now pushing 172, 28 away from 200. Thank you for that. 74% of you say the first time I wrote options, I made less than $500. I brought in less than 500. That is not an untypical comment. $500 to $2,000 on your first option, right? 18% did that. 5% of you said I brought in between $2 and $5 grand, and 4% of you say I brought in over $5,000. That is 10, 11 people. 10 or 11 of you now brought in over $5 grand the first time you ever wrote options. I have a suspicion now that a much higher number of you, every time you do write options, and I'm not talking about credit spreads that are 18 cents and 20 cents. I'm talking about option writing like calls, cash secured puts. I would bet you a majority of you bring in more than $2,000 every time you do option writes. And I would say a good chunk of you, I would think a third of you or more, are now bringing in more than $5,000 every time you write options, because it's just a second nature thing for you. And if you're doing 10 GameStop calls at $6 each, that's $6,000. You're doing 20 GameStop contracts at $350, that's $7,000. You're doing 20 NVIDIA contracts, cash secured puts, you're bringing in huge money. You're writing 10 AI cash secured puts at $650 a put, $6,500. I mean, there's many examples. Over $5,000 per write. Welcome to the program, pal. You're now in the option writing business. We're up 261 on the Dow. We're at 532.04 on the Qs, up $3. They're trying to hit new highs. The high of the session for the triple Qs, 532.14, I think is the high, and we're just under it, 532.05-ish right now. We've got SoFi at 14.82, attempting another run at $15. 12.2 million traded in about 58 minutes. Not incredibly active. An average activity day so far, I would suppose. 14.84. GameStop 23.13, up 14 cents. Rocket Lab up $1.26. IBM up 3.32. NVIDIA up 1.12. ASTS up 3.41. HIMS up 59. MSTR down 4.23. AI up 35. Supermicro up 82. Tesla's up 7.13. Palantir up 56 cents. Google down 77, Apple up 164, Microsoft up 48 cents, Meta up 387, Broadcom up 519, Amazon up 305. So even Apple is up 164. JV isn't worried about it because of his super cool right. The credit spread he did is super out of the money. Nicely done, sir, and enjoy the up move there. All right. It's unbelievable. Juan says this IBM's unbelievable, man. It's just unbelievable. Susan Shops, I'm number 171, but I'm here, baby. I'm here. Swear, have a great one. Get a nice day off, everybody. Tomorrow, see you on Friday. Juan, JV, I have the 290-300 again. I wrote yesterday for the 20th of June on IBM. I've written 290-300s, and the IBM is at 286.27. So he's daring the stock to go higher yet. There you are. Charlie, I copied your IBM trade with my 299, 209, or what is it, 290-250 spread, 290 to 290-250 spread. There you go. So you're at 290 on the written, but only 290-250 on the buy side, 250 spread, where JV is doing a $10 spread. Whichever works for you. Exactly. Bobby, solar stocks bouncing like a dead cat, maybe. I don't. Sometimes you can write cheap cash. You can write cash secured puts for good premiums when the stocks go cheap, and you get a dead cat bounce. You still make money. Giddy up, Bobby. I don't know. We'll see what gives, and how it comes out. Thank you, all of you. 246 is the gain on the Dow. I think we're at the high of the day on the Dow, or very close to it. At 42,485 is the high. We're at 462, awful close to the high of the day on the Dow Jones. The Qs are at 532 range, just 14 cents off the highs. Spiders are $600.77. They're having a run right now. So keep an eye on call credit spreads if the market wants to top out around here, or 20 minutes from now, or in the next hour. Some of you will wait until the Federal Reserve chairman speaks. You got to wait a while, but maybe it pays to wait today to see what he says before you do a credit spread. You might do a credit spread for Friday expiry, well out of the money, well ahead of the market. You might play that game. Even if there is a bit of a pop from here, you'll still be out of the money. Again, you have to decide what you want to do. Some of you won't write anything today. You'd take the day off today and wait until Friday. Is there something wrong with that? No, there isn't. Well done, option writers. Congratulations to all of you. Thanks again for your support of this YouTuber's channel. Have a wonderful day off tomorrow. I'm going to catch up with my daughter this morning, get some rest tomorrow, and we'll see you Friday when we have some more fun. By the way, tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern, Primetime Live for Gold Bagel members. If you're around, I'll be around at 7 tonight Eastern time. So join me tonight at 7 Eastern for Primetime Live with your buddy Uncle Bruce if you're a Gold Bagel member. If you're not a Gold Bagel member, you know what you got to do. You got to become one. Otherwise, we'll catch up with you. Splair, $14.90, buddy. $14.90 on that SoFi. Giddy up. Mike, thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for the thumbs ups today. Thank you for participating in the question of the day, 257 of you. I thank you. The thumbs up meter, 172 is what I saw. Now we're 182. Only 18 away from 200. Thank you all for helping out. If you're watching on the rerun, help us out with the thumbs up. Absolutely wonderful. Giddy up, everybody. Thank you for all of your participation. And have a great rest of your afternoon. Make a lot of money. See you tonight at 7 Eastern for Gold Bagel members. And we'll see everybody on Friday morning as per usual. Charlie, we'll see you tonight. Thanks, Charlie. Walter, number 182. Don't forget the knee emojis. Have a great day, says Louis. All of you out there. Henry, Taco Boy just mentioned Apple will buy gold cards. I have no idea what's going on here. I have no idea what's going on. Does anyone know? I don't know if he knows. We're up 174 on Apple now, at 197.38, up 174. What does this mean? I can't say. I really can't say. The 52-week high for Apple, $260. We're at 197.38. We're not really going anywhere here. I don't know. I just don't know. 18 hours ago, Apple did win a verdict, an appeal, as judge throws out a $300 million patent verdict. That happened 18 hours ago. It made the stock go up a little bit. But I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Thank you again, everybody, for this. Qs are now 532.16. That's the high of the day on the Qs. As the Dow is up 264 right now, 266. So we're inching a little higher, just a little higher. Let's see what happens. Charlie says that the translation means Apple will bribe Trump now. That's what that means. Whatever this means. I don't know. I'm just a guy in front of a computer. 1489, 1490 on your SoFi, on 13.4 million shares. Go SoFi, go. Rocket Lab is up 159. GameStop is up 9 cents. Okay, everybody. All right, we'll see you tonight, 7 Eastern. Have a great rest of your day. Get richer. We'll see you then, and then otherwise we'll catch you Friday morning. In 3, 2, 1, I am saying bye.